Hey everyone, I have been very busy putting together these glue books that I had just made with the cinch that I just got. And so I used 1-inch rings on them all so that you have plenty of room to fluff it up. They all have 50 pages, 50 individual papers. So what is that, 100 surfaces? That you can work with, and I also am including a gigantic bag of goodies, and I will go through them, and I will go through a couple of these bags and show you exactly what you're looking at. So these are yearbooks. I have a bunch more ready to go, but I thought I would start with 5 and see how that went. So this one is 1970 Pegasus. Now, please don't contact me asking me where they were from because I don't remember all of them. I have yearbooks mostly from Southwest Virginia, Pennsylvania, and I have a handful of them from Florida that I was turning into glue books. So it's one of those 3 places. I left all the covers the way they were, and if I had the right page inside, you would get that. That's a house plans page. This is from this yearbook. I included some map pieces. This is a wrapping paper, but it is from Vera Wang, I think. These are Vera Wang paper. Let me check, because I have a handful. I'm sorry, they're Vera Bradley papers. So they are very good quality. There are pages from an art book. These are pages from a little quote inspirational book. I have included some music and hymnal pages. This was a cover page to another book I had that the author had addressed it to Addison. This also came from a house plan page, but it was one of the pages that didn't have the house plans on it. This came from a nature book, again from the yearbook. Now, I also included 1 page, coloring page from a big book of cities, big coloring book that had all cities in it. Another one of those pieces of wrapping paper. Are all of these pages wonderful collage material? No. Are all of them decorative and beautiful? No, they're not. But you do have a huge array of different thicknesses, textures, gloss, so you can take pages out of this and put it someplace else. You can see, like, this is a nice thick piece of notebook paper that's numbered in the corner. This comes from a calendar. This comes from a different yearbook. You have a huge array of paper and thickness and quality and type, so there's a whole lot of potential for creativity, including, a reverse collage. You want to reverse collage something, you want to collage along with these images, you can do that. The possibilities are really endless, but they are for the most part from the same group of books and papers. More of the wrapping paper, another house plan page. So I really tried to make it as diverse and as interesting as possible so that you can create whatever you'd like in this, glue book, junk journal, art journal, whatever you decide to do with it. This was wrapping paper that had come from a flow book, so that is a good quality. And of course, National Geographic map pages are good quality. In the packets, I mean, you have way more stuff in this packets than you can even fill. this book with. So, I mean, I'll bet you they're over a pound of paper. Another flow book, another flow wrapping paper. That woman's face looks so weird with all that. It's like fiberglass looking. So this is the first one, and it is 1970 Pegasus. And I washed the cover. The cover was a little dirty, so I did, you know, take a brush and scrub it so it came out nice and clean. The next book I will show you, because again, they're all the same but a little bit different, as it is usually when you make a series of books, junk journal style books. This is 1963, the Spartanian. This, you know, is worn down because it's been used. This book, I had the page, I had the first page, but I don't know what I did with the tail page. And I had this. This is from Virginia. This is a Virginia high school, I think. I have some that are colleges also. So this came from a children's book. This is another one of those coloring pages, San Francisco. Another page from that. It's like a National Geographic book, I think. This came from like an almanac style book. There were a few in the other one too. This came from that house plans, old house plans page. It just shows the architectural windows. This is wrapping paper from the WWF. It's a little bit thinner than the Vera Bradley. This came from a pamphlet. This is a calendar, hymnal page. This is another piece of wrapping paper from a different company. This is a small piece of lined paper, large piece of lined paper. I want to call this ledger because I think it comes in a book called a ledger book, but I know it's not technically ledger paper. Some of that quote, some more wrapping paper. This is comes from the yearbook, and it has, you know, someone hand drew that, which I thought was cute. House plans. Now this is a blank page. This is one of the pages, the end pages that comes in a yearbook. And I kept it because it is a nice quality. It has a nice satin gloss to it. And you can do a lot with this paper. More of the yearbook. See, like this one, his hometown is Miami, Florida. So this is one that was from the Florida yearbooks that I have. I had a bunch of pages. I grabbed pages from larger books in my stash. So I tried to really make it fitting to the cover without a whole lot of small pieces. But I also like to vary my paper sizes in all my projects. I love that picture. Calendar. And any yearbook pages that had, you know, signatures and little notes written, I just included all that. I'm sorry, I keep yawning. I don't know if it's allergies or what the hell's going on, but it's something. A lot of them have at least 1 or 2 pages of ads, yearbook ads. This comes from a little booklet that I had. Art book. This comes from that booklet. How to Plan a Successful Vacation. Vera Bradley. National Geographic. Oh, America the Beautiful. That was this book, America the Beautiful. That little inspirational book. Yearbook, house plan. lined paper, more yearbook ads. So that's that one. And again, 1963, the Spartanian. This is Pendulum 86. This is a very heavy cover. This is one of the first ones that I made on my cinch. While I did go through and practice my cinch, I couldn't practice with the same sizes. So I do have extra holes at the top and the bottom, and I'm not claiming for any of these books to be perfect, but there are 2 of them I think that are you know, just have a little bit of human error. I like this cutout, and this was the page behind it, so I left that. 1986, Danville, Virginia. Map. This girl is picking her nose. I had to include it. When I saw that page, I had to put it in there. I have some pages from a San Francisco book. They are very nice and thick pages, so yes, they are very nice. This is Berlin. Hymnal. Yearbook page. Apparently they went to Moscow and Prague. This is this comes from a different book, also called A Ledger. So it's very thick paper. This is that flow wrapping paper. A plant book. These came from Lowe's. I used these to create a glue book a long time ago. You can go back in my channel if you'd like. It's called The Beast. I used a lot of these hard cover pieces. You know, they're like paint pamphlets that you can get in the paint section. Vera Bradley paper. More of that thick ledger book paper. This was paper from a stamp collection, and it's a pretty thick paper also. Calendar. Vera Bradley. Hymnal. This is that San Francisco book. I don't know. How would I ask for a drink?
If you were deaf, how would you ask for a drink?
In sign language.
Well, do your sign. If you were deaf, how would you say, "Can I have some food"?
This is from a book about style and dress throughout history. This is from that yearbook. Vera Bradley paper. This comes from that San Francisco book. Yearbook. More of that stamp collecting. This is actually from the plant book, but I like this. I like all the dots. Calendar. Picture. Thick ledger paper. Vera Bradley. Yearbook. Map piece. Yearbook. Another one of those card pieces. Vera Bradley. San Francisco book. Paper. Art book. San Francisco. Oh no, that's Yearbook East Germany. They went to East Germany. They went all over. Vera Bradley papers is another one of those papers from that dress book. Some naked people there. Yearbook. This is the San Francisco book. More line paper. This comes from a cookbook. Look at that lobster. Like, I just had to include him. He is so red. And stamps, ends in art. And then this one I had both of the tail pages, so I included both of the tail pages. So this one is large. Let me get a little measuring here. This one is 12 1/4 by 9. So this is a large book. These two are not as large. Let me measure these. This one is 10 3/4 by 7 3/4. And then the Pegasus is 10 3/4 by 7 3/4, 7.5. So it's about the same. But I was trying to get my large ones done first, and I have one that I screwed up on, so I'll have to, I will have to figure out a way to fix one of the covers. The holes didn't punch right, so I'll have to figure out a way to fix that. Alright, the Heidi Tidy 1967. This is a college book, so this is from a college yearbook. This is it's Virginia Tech. It's from Virginia Tech. This is a post-it that I left in there. This was $40, 1967. This was $40. Vera Bradley paper, flow book paper, hymnal, cookbook, Vera Bradley paper, plants, that Lowe's card pieces. See, some of them I punched wrong, so I left the holes. I just left it. This was the first one I did, actually, so the papers didn't line up when I punched them through, so I kept them in because I'm not going to throw anything out. If you don't like it, then don't buy it. Hymnal pages. This comes from one of those little pamphlets that I had. This comes from this book. This comes from a little pamphlet thing. Vera Bradley paper. Cookbook. That stamp collection. Stamp collector's pages. Vera Bradley. This is from that dress, that fashion book. Vera Bradley paper. Map. Ledger. Book. Paper. Lowe's. Cookbook. Yearbook. Coloring page, and this one I split up because London was on one side, so I said, well, I'm going to put two separate coloring pages in here. This picture was in the book, was in this yearbook, and it was signed by number 19, so I just included it as a page. Cookbook, Vera Bradley, ledger book, Lowe's, that pamphlet, stamp book, Vera Bradley, heavy duty notebook paper, art book, cookbook. This came from that fashion book also, and I just really liked that. This is obviously from a plant book, bibliography, and the index, but you know, this is perfect to collage onto because the text, you know, it's like a dictionary page. This is from the yearbook with the ads. I don't know what that is. Looks like a turtle. Looks like a turtle. Art book. This is the other half of that London book page. Cookbook. Losey posy. This one also punched holes in the wrong place. This is one of those stamp pages. This is from the cookbook. I love the aging of those pages. And I love the cameras. The pictures. So there's that one. And the last one I have to show you is the Beacon. This one is 1941. I haven't cut that yet. Let's cut that while we're chatting right here. So yeah, the wire, I had too many, you know, rungs on the wire. This one I included the pages. This was from a woman, she was a teacher. I'm assuming she was a teacher also at this school. I believe this is from a college. I'm not 100% sure. Wrapping paper. This is the coloring page for Tokyo. This is from that almanac book. This is that lined ledger book that I have. Vera Bradley wrapping paper, which I love because it has the grids on the back and it doesn't look like the same kind of grids as the cheaper wrapping papers. Art book. This is from that house plan book. Yearbook ads, calendar image, that lined paper, the wrapping paper, that quote book. This is from an art book, and it's just the writing part. Wrapping paper, that almanac book, that little ledger book I got. Art book, the America book, yearbook, wrapping paper, more from that art book, house plans, hymn paper, hymnal, yearbook page. Ooh, more of that quotes, inspirational stuff. Look at that pretty picture. They have such pretty pictures in it. America book, calendar, notebook paper, cookbook. This is a different cookbook. I got a lot of cookbooks. Wrapping paper, yearbook, quote book, cookbook, yearbook, hymnal, America book, more wrapping paper. This is that pamphlet, Life in America, that's what it's called. House plans. This is from one of the house plan books. It's a nice thick page. This is the yearbook page. This comes from that America book, that, you know, Life in America. And yearbook page. And table of contents for that old style house plans, and then that's the end page for it. So those are the 5 journals, glue books, whatever you want to use it for, that I made, and I will be including a packet of goodies with each one. I am not going to, if there's something really specific in one of the packets that you need to have, just make sure you let me know right away, because if not, I am going to be giving these at random with the books. And like I said, they are pretty much the same, but different. So what I included is, these are fussy cuts from magazines that I have. That one's obviously really old because that's President Bush. These come from a book that, this is stuff that I haven't even started listing in my Etsy store yet. These are fussy cuts from Vintage Soda Collectibles book. And I also have in here some vintage greeting card collectibles fussy cuts. These are like little texture pieces that I included. You get a handful of small fussy cut pieces that are good for like your ATCs or your small focal points. There's some medium-sized things. I have stuff from magazines and from books. This is a tea set from a book. These are some little faux stamps that I made. I made a video on it that I have not posted yet. So I threw those in there. You get you get a bat and a row of socks. That's a flower, and that is a very creepy face. And then these are like from HGTV magazines over the years. I use them as texture pieces. So those are some of the smalls. You get a few of the Farmer's Almanac, because this is one of my favorite things to collage with. It does have some creepy ads, like a lot of laxative ads. I don't know why, but like I love these types of ads with all the little itty bitty writing. This is for tires, so I included a couple of those. You will get, it's almost like you're going to get samples of all the kits that are in my shop. This is foreign text. It's some of it is in English and some of it is in German, because it is a German literature book, textbook, and this paper is very, very thick, very good quality paper. These are just some larger images that I included. I included some dictionary pages. You know, you get a couple of dictionary folios, and some more plant and flower images that I had. These are from books. I'm including those in there. This is Greek. Some of it has little sketches on it, but you also will get some Greek pages, also very thick. This comes from a book. It goes with those flower pages, little bird. This comes from a book. And this, they all come from the same book that I fussy cut. This is from a very old French textbook. I gave, like, you know, one signature, a full signature, and so that's a handful of folios, and that's old. It's from the early 1900s. I had a rose book I took apart, and I included a bunch of the rose pictures for you to either use in collage or to fussy cut, or whatever you decide to do with it. So that's from the rose book. And one of the things that I did was that I included piles of the scraps from cutting the wrapping paper, because these scraps are a lot of fun to make masterboards with, or to turn into tuck spots and pockets. So the possibilities are really endless with what you can do with these pieces, and I don't like to throw anything away, so I am going to throw in a whole bunch of these in each pack, so you can see a bunch of the different style papers, and not just the ones that you have on your pages. You'll get a wide array of pieces. I also included a bunch of yearbook pages. Some of them are from the 80s, some of them are from the 50s, and I think there's a handful in here from the 40s. So I'm going to say somewhere between the 60s and the 80s you'll get pictures from. I included different sizes so you can do different things with them. You have these. I included these little itty bitties. I included a couple of strips of pictures, and I included some of the candid pictures too. This one just happens to be, you know, 2 circles. And try and tuck these in so that I can put them away nicely. And there were some that were colored. I included a couple of those too. So you get a couple of colored, you know, groups. And then this is just another size, a little bit bigger. I included some pages from a Monet book that has a bunch of his art. Makes great for backgrounds or on its own. I love Monet, he's one of my favorites. I have a bunch of his art books. And this is just a group of hymnal pages. Again, I sell hymnal page packs in my store. So you're getting, you know, like a taste of one of my hymnal packs. Oh, another little bitty dude's head. Can go this way. So you get that. I have some of these clip art book pages. So they all have different themes. This one's leisure and sport and costume. And there's two different pages from two different sections of the book. I don't have these in my Etsy, but I do sell these at live sales from time to time, so you might have seen them there. I do sell these art pictures in my Etsy store. You might have seen them. So I have bundles of those pictures. This is from a reproduction of a Sears and Roebuck catalog, so you get a wide variety of stuff from that book. I also included a handful of napkins in each one. There's no telling what napkins that you will get. There's a big variety. Some of them are from Tuesday Morning. Some of them are from Hobby Lobby. There might be one or two from Dollar Tree. Some of them have been found at thrift stores, like vintage ones. Some I have received in swaps. Some of them are only pieces. But it is all, like this one I got at Ollie's, I think. I got napkins there. And it looks like, you know, dinosaur skin or something. I don't know what that's supposed to be. A leaf. So there's a big array of napkins in each pack. And then I tried to put in one of my little collage boards that I have. These I covered with a tissue paper that was floral, so it came out different. I like them, you know, and I use them. So that's like an example of what you would get in the packet of what you have, you know, with the book. There is a lot in each packet, as much as you just saw here. That's what I have roughly in every pack. I don't have I didn't, you know, like I said, a lot of this stuff I have in my store as packets on their own, like the fussy cut images and the foreign text and the hymnal and the dictionary. So you're kind of getting a taste of everything, you know, except for a few packs, you know, but there's quite a bit in each pack, and they're all very similar, and they would all be a lot of fun. You know, some of them might have a couple of doodle papers or painty papers in them. I might put painty papers in all of them, I don't know. Like this one has a painty paper in it, you know, but yeah, they are all very, very bulked up and very full of stuff. So I am going to be listing these in my store. Like I said, these packs go with the book. You will get them together. And $5 of your purchase will go to DEFI, the Disabled Artists Foundation. You can find them on Facebook. You can look them up online. They have a website. And $5 of every sale of a book that I have made goes to DEFI. So keep that in mind. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope you go and grab yourself one of these because it is going to be a ton of fun. Thank you all. Ta-ta for now.